If you want to buy a new build as an investment, there are two ways you can go. You can either use a property investment company or go to a developer. But what's the difference? Well, that's what you're going to learn in today's video. If you go to a developer like Wolfbrook, Williams or Brooksfield or any of the other developers, they're going to sell you a house. If you go to a property investment company, on the other hand, they are going to build you a financial plan. Now, full disclosure, Opus Partners, which this YouTube channel is part of, is an example of a property investment company, but this is still going to be an unbiased review. And on top of that, we're not the only property investment company. Here are some of our competitors. Now, whichever property investment company you're going to use, they're often going to have a piece of software to build that financial plan. So this is our example here, Wealth Plan, which we've created here at Opus Partners. So you put in all of your numbers, see how far away you are from your goals, and then they're going to help you create the plan for how properties could help you meet that goal. Now, you're not going to get that if you go to a developer. You're going to get a different service. Often what will happen is you will look through all of the properties that they have available, and they'll ask you, what sort of property are you looking for? Is it a 2-bedroom, a 3-bedroom? What's your budget? And they're going to focus much more on the house right from the start. Now, if you're the sort of investor who wants to go to an open home and maybe take your tape measure and a level to really dig into how a property is built, then going to a developer directly, that could definitely be the right fit for you. If, on the other hand, you're the sort of person who wants to have a financial plan created, property investment company could be the way to go. The next big difference is in the number of properties you're going to look at. So if I go onto Mike Greer Homes website, I can see hundreds of properties, every single property they've got available for sale, and I can click in and start digging into some of the details. Now, if you go to a property investment company, they don't work like that. After creating a financial plan, they're going to show you 3 or 4 different property options that fit within that plan, which you can make a decision on. And in fact, if you go to a property investment company's website, often they won't show you the properties that they've currently got available, even though they might have a lot. So for instance, here is our current stock list for all of the properties we've got available for investors here at Opus Partners. And the reason a property investment company will do that is they want you to focus on what sort of investments do you need within your portfolio before you start looking at every property on the market. But some investors genuinely would prefer to go onto a developer's website, look at all of the properties available there or on Trade Me and make that decision. And if you're the sort of person who likes to learn about property investment yourself, then make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel because we release new videos every Monday and Wednesday. The next big difference is in the sort of documents you get. So if I go onto Wolfbrook's website and I find this property and I like the look of it, I can download a property pack. And that property pack will have a whole heap of really nice looking photos and renders of the property. I'm going to read a lot about the developer and how they build their properties and what's around in the location, and there will be some floor plans as well. It's quite different if you go to a property investment company. Sure, they will have a property pack as well and there'll be some photos, but it's going to be much more based around statistical information about what is happening in the area, not in terms of where are the pools and the schools, but in terms of what is happening in the property market at that specific time. So for instance, here's a map of Christchurch City with how quickly do property prices appreciate in different areas, and then what sort of rental income or yield can we expect to get. So it's very different in terms of the information you are going to use to make your decision. On top of that, a property investment company will often give you a spreadsheet. And here's an example of mine. This will go through the cash flow on that property and how quickly might you expect that property to increase in value. So it all comes down to how do you want to make your investment decision. Are you the sort of person who wants to dig into how the property is actually built, or are you more interested in the financial side? And whichever way you go, no way is particularly wrong. It's what's going to work best for you. The last main difference is in how these companies get paid. With a developer, really simple. You buy a house off them, they build it, and they make a margin. With a property investment company, yep, some will make a couple of $100 a month like we do off this YouTube channel, but on top of that, they've got relationships with developers. And so if they could recommend you a property and you say, you know what, I like the look of that, that's a good investment property, I'm going to buy it, then they will earn a fee from the developer. Now, because of that, some property investment companies won't charge you a fee for that financial planning service. That's the case for us here at Opus Partners, but also Thrive Investment Partners. Others, like Positive, Propeller and iFind, will charge you a fee, but the exact structure of those changes between the companies. Now, if you think that working with a property investment company may be the right fit for you, check out our website, opuspartners.co.nz. We help regular Kiwis grow their wealth through new build properties.